Yeah, let's do it.
Questions, my friend.
I wish it was a little bit before I fired up, you know.
Yeah.
I just got my first good night's sleep. Could you believe it or not? So I'm just trying to.
He's ready.
You're doing
Yeah,
very
I'm
well.
ready.
Are you a Rock or an Austin guy?
I'm an Austin guy for sure. Actually, we met him not so long ago. We came to a show in Nevada, Reno, Nevada. It was awesome. He sat there at the monitor, watched all the matches, gave everybody feedback, and was just the sound man. Here you are, one of the probably the greatest and biggest superstar in the history of our business, and he's just sitting there chilling, talking to everybody. No ego, no nothing. Just there, like, just sound, man. Just absolutely sound. Like, coming up to everybody, talking to everybody, chatting to everybody. He's one of the coolest people I've ever met. And as I said, I'm on the back of, like, when people think of WWE, they think of Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Still.
You know, yeah, exactly, right? So, and there he is, like, just taking his time to talk to people, like. So, also on top of that, I remember at WrestleMania in Dallas, I think it was WrestleMania 32, he asked me to have one of his IPAs. I think I drank them all, so. I think he was angry at me for a while. Last time he ever invited me to drink some of his beer.
What's the hardest you've been hit in the ring?
Oh man, I think I've hit hard quite a few times actually. I think Drew's hit me hard. Drew, that one of the Claymores during the pandemic, I'm pretty sure I just got knocked out with that Claymore at the end.
Are they worse than
he
the
didn't hold
Thunderdome
back.
about the crowd and stuff?
Yeah. I mean, you had to because there was no fans there, so the camera shots were basically just on the talent. So, you know, now there's crowd shots, whatever, with the stuff going on in the ring. But back then it was like, that's why I thrived in there, because my physicality and intensity was just better than anybody's. And it was highlighted more because of the fact that the camera was only on the two guys in there. So yeah, Drew got me back. I'm pretty sure I caught him a couple of times. Cesaro as well caught me one time, one of those uppercuts in the corner. And I remember my head nearly bounced off the back of the turnbuckle. I'm trying to think who else has hit me pretty hard. Oh, almost clotheslined me at the Money in the Bank. I was trying to rile him up, you know? It's like I was trying to rile this, and then I remember he clotheslined me in the face so hard. I was lying on the ground. This is the beginning of the match. Just the Money in the Bank ladder match just happened, and Riddle is lying beside me, and he goes, "Bro, what are you doing? He's a giant." I was like, "You're right, he is a giant. What am I thinking? I'm an idiot." He's just lying there. Riddle's just stop firing this guy up. He's a giant.
What's the most tired you've been in a match, man? Has anyone blown you up?
It'll probably be today, mate, after. Anyway, has anyone blown me up? Christian blew me up for sure. Christian has blown everybody up in the ring. Yeah. He blew up, I remember one time he blew up Harry Smith, and Harry Smith's well known for his cardio. But we were doing these matches, and even after like going on a loop of matches for a European tour, he just doesn't stop, man. He's just like a cardio machine, Christian. So yeah, he's the one guy who's blown me up.
What about someone you learnt the most from traveling or riding with?
Regal, absolutely.
Oh God, yeah.
William Regal. I learned a lot most as a producer-wise. Fifth Finlay, without a doubt, was my biggest inspiration. I've learned so much from him. But Regal for sure. William Regal, I learned so much. I traveled with him. I drove him everywhere. We drove everywhere, like we went from town to town, and he consistently gave me feedback on the matches, and he just talked to me. And yeah, mate, and I feel bad too because I haven't stayed in touch with Willie, you know what I mean? Because, you know, in this business sometimes just time moves differently and you're always on the go. But Regal, without a doubt, was a huge help at the beginning of my career.
Have you got a favourite fighter, either boxing or UFC, like ever?
Paddy.
Himlet, you like him?
Yeah, Liverpool lad.
Yeah,
he's great. Been talking to him back and forth. I watched his fight there a couple of weeks ago, and he just hit me up, like just messaged each other now and again. But he's doing dead. He's got a lot of charisma.
Yeah.
Good old scouser, you know. Doing great. So yeah, I think he's got a lot of charisma, man. It's like he definitely stands out from everybody else. So as long as he keeps doing it, keeps his head, I think he's gonna have a great career.
And finally, I know a bit about your backstory in terms of jobs you had before wrestling.
Don't ask me that, Bono. Shite. Sick of him. That's the thing for the last 30 years. Listen, I worked in a club that he came into and they had me take care of him.
What was your last one? What was the last job before you finally said, you know what, I can do wrestling full time?
I was working in IT actually, and I was actually working the door as well. I've always had about 2 or 3 jobs. I've always been that kind of way. And I've like you know, my whole goal when I got back, I went over in 2002 to the States to learn how to wrestle. That didn't work out. So I came back for a while, and my next goal then was to buy a house. Well, you know, if anyone knows the housing market, which is madness now, was also madness in 05. So I was trying to get a gaff, but I remember the one thing, like, I'd already met Brett. I'd gone over to the States. I got hurt, a little bit hurt, and then I couldn't get back to finish the training. And then, you know, my dad was like, you got to get back in and sort yourself out and get a job and stuff. So I got back into IT, but I was also working door. I remember waking up one morning, and I had that, remember my sacrifice packages that were on before, in between every, like, I don't know, SmackDown on a Saturday morning on Sky, right? And I remember, like, watching that, and then I had the Edge one. And I remember, like, just, like, it just got, I don't know what it was. I woke up, I just, like, that came on, just something clicked in my head. I got to go back and give this another try. I didn't give this a fair whack the first time. So I just, like, you know, I'm going to go back and do this again. But Bret Hart I met first. He was the one who gave me advice. But look, I've always been a fan of WWE. Loved it. And I think it was always in my calling to do it. And it was just a matter of how I got there and when I got there.
Well, thanks to my sacrifice.
My sacrifice. Creed of all bands.
Thank God you did.
No one even listens to Creed now. I remember back in the day, Creed was cool. The Creed. No one will admit they ever listened to Creed now. It's like Nickelback, you know what I mean? Not that I ever listened to Nickelback, but people are like, no one will admit, or Limp Bizkit. No one will admit they listen to these bands now back in the day. Where's the sports questions?
Who's the midfield solution for Liverpool?
I don't know. They signed this guy. What's his name?
Arthur Melo.
Arthur. He sounds like he should be leading the character on Downton Abbey. How's he gonna bleed? How's he Italian? Is he Italian?
He's Brazilian, I think.
Brazilian with an English name.
He's a stopgap, I think.
I don't know. Like, listen, I watched the game the other day, and, like, definitely in midfield, dude. I'm drawing a blank here, but Harvey
Elliott?
Brilliant. What a player. Like, he's not the same type of player as Gerrard, but he's going to have as massive influence on the team as Gerrard did. He's brilliant. He never stopped. I met his dad, actually. Rob Glover is a friend of mine, and a really good friend of mine, and, you know, he got me tickets to the game. He went, and I went up, you know, and basically I met his dad in the stands, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it was a great lad, and, like, the unbelievable talent, like, unbelievable drive. He just never stopped. I mean, look, whatever they say about the beginning of the season, I think it's very obvious. I know, look, I miss Mane for sure, but let's be honest, right? He's building for the future. Like, he's looking for the future. He's bringing these new players in. Are they going to all gel and click? Some of them will, but some of them take longer than that. Even Carvalho's playing great, you know, getting that goal at the last minute. And that's another thing. They kept playing until the 97th minute. They kept pushing. They didn't put their heads down. They just kept pushing for that win. And they deserved it at the end.
They did deserve it.
So I'm not worried about this season at all. I think it's going to be a good one. I think regardless of ever, we're going to come out the other side. As long as Nunes just stops headbutting people, I think we'll be grand. I don't know what he was thinking.
He was rattled.
He needs to be careful now, because they're all going to be trying to like egg him on now, you know.
I also knew that he never took it personally, that he understood what I was doing, that he knew I was fucking with him, and he knew that in fucking with him I was going to push him to his limits, and that we would fight within, again, going back to promos, within the context of the storyline. I'm not going to sit, I may call him a big, fat, ugly okie that talks like this. I'm telling you now, gonna be a slobberknocker tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Back home in Oklahoma, we go to the slobberknocker, and Stone Cold, Stone Cold, Stone Cold, Stone Cold.